Hello friends of Tropical Realty, welcome back to our 7-part series. This is Megan Alfonseca with Tropical Realty in Bayahibe, the Dominican Republic, and today we are on video number 6 of our 7-part series, asking questions and having your Tropical Realty agents answer your questions about the Dominican Republic. We're talking here more about just properties and things for sale. We're talking living here, relocating here, things we like about here, and all of that. So today, the question is, agents, how did you learn Dominican Spanish? So you guys know, or maybe you don't know, but you will know that Dominican Spanish is very different than other types of Spanish, and it's definitely something that you've got to learn.
So the story about how I learned Dominican Spanish is actually quite funny. I came here in 2007 and I didn't know a word of Spanish. And I took some lessons back home and I just wasn't very good at it. So outside of my house, I lived like maybe a 15 minutes drive from the beach, from my work on the beach at the time. And I had no way to get to my work. So I didn't have a car. I didn't know how to take the bus. I think the bus didn't even drive to my work yet. So there were these motoconchos outside, motor taxis. And I had to take them to work. So me being a gringa, and I had to take them every day. So me being a gringa, they wanted to charge me too much. So I had to learn Dominican Spanish to fight the price with these motor taxis every single day, because there were always a different one outside. And that way, trying to talk to the motor taxis, I learned my first Dominican fighting Spanish words. And then, of course, my husband, he taught me the rest of the Dominican Spanish. He would not speak in English to me, so I would have to just like survive. And I can tell you, it's the best way to learn a new language is to just submerge and then have to speak nothing else as that language. So, want to learn some Spanish? Come live over here, pick a small town like Bayahibe, and you'll learn it straight away.
I'm from Santo Domingo, and of course, my native language is Dominican Spanish.
Now, my wife and I, we do speak Spanish. My wife is from Latin America, and I speak Portuguese fluently, but I grew up also speaking Spanish. Very similar, the both languages, but I lived in other parts of Latin America as well for many years. So speaking Spanish for me was just second nature. Dominican Spanish, yeah, those are things you'll pick up eventually once you're living there. Every country has their own words, their own slang, so you can pick it up eventually while you're living there. But in general, as long as you speak Spanish, or try to anyway, most Dominicans will understand what you're saying and you can get by.
I don't speak Spanish. I grew up in Canada, but both of my parents are bilingual. My mom is from Ecuador. My dad is Portuguese background, but over time, he learned Spanish fluently. But because of my situation, I was born and raised in Canada. Everyone around me spoke English. I grew up around English-speaking people, so I wasn't able to pick up the language. But within time, I kind of picked up a few words here and there while I was staying in Dominican. And as soon as we're going back, I probably will pick it up more. But I don't know any words. Well, I know some words in Spanish, but it's going to take some time. So I'm gradually trying to learn to adapt to the language.
I'll tell you about my story. I have been learning Spanish. I'm American, from the area of Philadelphia. I was not born speaking Spanish, born speaking English. I learned Spanish later on. And my family is not Hispanic. Well, now they are, because my husband's Dominican, my children are Dominican, but my family's not Hispanic, so Spanish was a learned language for me. I do speak fluently, and I can read, write, speak, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so Dominican Spanish is definitely different, because when I was learning Spanish in school, of course, we learned Spanish from Spain, a very formal Spanish. I studied abroad when I was in college, and I did study for about 6 months in Mexico, so I knew like more Mexican Spanish. And then I came down here to the Dominican Republic, and wow, do they speak very fast here, and very different. differently. So of course I'm used to it now. And many people joke that I'm Dominican. You definitely pick it up, so no worries. But yeah, so how did I learn Dominican Spanish? I learned Spanish in school, and then honestly, you learn it in life and being out and about in town, talking to people. So don't be afraid, get out there and definitely talk to people in town. You should definitely go around, get some practice in, try speaking to people in Spanish so you can pick it up and talk to people here. But yeah, so I learned in school officially, and then I learned Dominican Spanish when I came down here and was kind of like forced into the cultural situations and having to learn Dominican Spanish. Sorry, slight interruption there. Y'all know I have kids, so I'm not even gonna play. That was my kid, one of them. Anyway, so Spanish learned in school formally, throughout university, went to study abroad and learned Spanish, but then I got here to the Dominican Republic and definitely had to learn Dominican Spanish, but it wasn't that bad. You just gotta get out there, put yourself out there, talk to people, be in touch with the community, and you will definitely pick it up, and you, faster than you know it, will be fluent. So it's great to be able to speak Spanish. You know what people are saying, you know how to order stuff in Spanish, so obviously it's very helpful. I definitely suggest it, that you learn it if you're going to be down here. And yeah, and don't worry, just put yourself out there and you'll figure it out. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us for our video number 6 of our 7-part series, asking your Tropical Realty agents questions and having us answer them. More than just properties and for sale information, more about life and living down here. If you found this video fun or helpful and you want to share it with one of your friends, we'd appreciate that. Go ahead and give it a like. Share it with someone that you know that may be looking to relocate or looking for property down here in the Dominican Republic. If you have any questions that you'd like us to answer, go ahead and put them either in the comments, or you can send them to us directly. Thank you guys so much, and we can't wait to see you for video number 7.